guys, my name is Paul Lysis Alden Sibawa. Welcome to my vlog. Today we will learn the modes of reproduction in animals, the modes of reproduction in flowering plants, the modes of reproduction in non-flowering plants. We're gonna do the modes of reproduction in animals. There are two types of modes of reproduction in animals. The first one is asexual reproduction. The second one is sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is where only one parent is involved. There are three types of asexual reproduction. The first one is budding. Budding is where parent organism produces outgrowths called buds in its body. Example, hydras. The second one is regeneration. Its ability to regrow lost body parts. Example, starfish and lizards. The third one is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is where growth and development of embryos occur without fertilization by a male. Example, bees and ants. Now let's go to the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is only two parents involved. When the sperm cell and egg cell unites, this is called fertilization, and a new cell is formed called zygote. There are some animals that contain both testes and ovaries. These are called hermaphrodites. And there are two fertilization. The first one is external fertilization. Occurs when outside of the body of the female, and the second one is internal fertilization. Occurs within the body of the female. There are two types of fertilization. The first one is external fertilization. External fertilization fertilize outside of body of the female. The second one is internal fertilization. It fertilize within the body of the female. The animals that give birth to live offspring are called live bearers or viviparous. And the animals which lay eggs are called oviparous or egg laying. Let's go to the next one. Now we're going to do the modes of reproduction in flowering plants. Flower is the reproductive structure of a plant. Angiosperm have seeds that are enclosed in a container called ovary. There are 6 types of parts of flowers. The first one is corolla, calyx, peduncle, receptacle, stamen, and pistil. Corolla comprises the petals, and its function is to protect and attract. The second is calyx. It comprises the sepals. Its function is to protect the flower when it's still a bud. Receptacle support the entire flower. Peduncle connects the flower to the branch or stem. And those I said are the accessory parts. The accessory parts protect and support the essential parts. The essential parts are the stamen and pistil. Pistil is the female reproductive structure. There are three parts of pistil. The first one is stigma, second is style, and the third is ovary. Stigma is a swollen knob tip of the pistil. Style is a long slender tube that connects the stigma and ovary. The ovary is the base enlarged basal portion of the pistil, and its function is it houses the ovule. Stamen is the male reproductive structure. There are two parts of stamen. The first one is anther, the second is filament. Anther is expanded lobular structure tip of the filament. Filament is a stalk that holds the anther. The next one is pollination. Pollination occurs when the pollen grain reaches the stigma, and then the pollen grain will grow a pollen tube going downwards, and when it reaches the ovule, it will release two sperms. The first sperm fertilize an egg cell, and the second sperm fertilize the polar nuclei. The first sperm will become a plant zygote, and then it will become a plant embryo. Then the second sperm, it will produce the endosperm, and it will also form an outer coat to protect the new seed. And this is called double fertilization. There are two types of pollination. The first one is self-pollination. Self-pollination is stamen of one flower to the pistil of the same flower. The second one is cross-pollination. Cross-pollination, anther of one flower to the stigma of the same kind. Now, how is pollen transferred? There are agents of pollination. There are four agents of pollination. The first one is insect, water, wind, and people. Those agents can transfer the pollen grain. The next one is seed dispersal. Seed dispersal is where plants are. The seeds are scattered, moved, or transported away. There are 5 ways of dispersing seeds. The first one is seed in pods. The second one, seed dispersed by animals eating them. Seed dispersed, seed carried by animals, seed dispersed by wind, and seed can be carried on water. Then cell and sperm cell not uniting are called the asexual reproduction. And there are 2 types of asexual reproduction. The first one is natural vegetative propagation. This is a structural modification done with stem, root, or leaf. The second one is artificial vegetative Propagation, it improves the quality of the plant. Like cutting. There are two types of cutting. Stem cutting is a branch is cut and placed in water or moist sand. The second one is leaf cutting. A leaf is cut and placed in a water or moist soil. Then there's layering. Layering, they bend over the stem and so the part will be covered in soil. And grafting is most widely used method and is producing woody plants. Let's go to the next one. Now we're going to do the modes of reproduction in non-flowering plants. Non-flowering plants do not have seed to reproduce. There are two main groups of non-flowering plants. The first one is plants that use spores to reproduce. The second one is plants that use seeds to reproduce. And the non-flowering plants that use seed are called gymnosperm. Gymnosperm are the non-flowering plant seeds that are exposed in the air, and they are not enclosed in a container. They're the opposite of angiosperm. They're not enclosed in a container. How moss and fern reproduce. Moss and fern reproduce by spore formation. Spore formation is common among fungi. Mosses doesn't have true roots, but instead they have short, slender root-like growths called rhizoid, and they anchor them to soil, rock, or bark. Fern are vascular plants and have stem and roots and that conduct water.